Hey everybody, this is Tim Gale. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're going to do little sous vide steaks today. It was my wife's birthday this week, so we got some ribeyes, about an inch thick ribeyes. You want decently thick steaks to sous vide. They work best, but real simple. We're just going to show you what I do. So start out, we're gonna do our vacuum seal bags. Very simple. Got a cheap vacuum sealer, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you do a double seal on your bags. That's going to be key when you're sous videing. It's always good to be safe. These aren't really going to be in the water bath, like, you know, sometimes you do meat for like 24 or 36 hours. These are only going to be in for like two hours, so it's not that big of a deal, but much better safe than sorry. So we're just going to get these bags done and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm seasoning my steaks with today, just a Montreal steak seasoning. It's already got, you know, salt, pepper, and some other herbs and, you know, garlic and stuff. So this works great, simple, and just want to make sure you season both sides of the steaks. So there I got, just working on the one side. Nothing tricky or crazy about it. It's just get a good coat on. And we're going to vacuum seal these, and then we're going to put them in the fridge and let them go for several hours, just sort of soaking in those flavors before we actually put them in the sous vide. I'll finish those up and be right back. Okay, so we're going to just do up 2 in a bag, and you really want to make sure that you keep this area here clear of any of the spices. So sometimes I'll actually fold this over to put the meat in, so I'm not getting stuff in there, but these are going in pretty easy. And then again, you want to do a good vacuum seal. Make sure you're not getting juices pulled into that seal layer where it's going to cause a bad seal. And double seal it, just like we did the bottoms. So here's what I mean by like folding it over, so you aren't getting seasonings and stuff on that seal area. Slide your steaks in. And this is just a cheap food saver. I actually got it at a secondhand store. And it works great. Probably could have made that bag a little bit bigger. So I went ahead and pulled out one steak. So I want plenty of room here to work with. You want to be able to start seeing some of that juice pull out. And have plenty of space before it gets up into this inch up here at the top. So I went down to 1 steak in that bag. And now to show you what I'm looking for, I don't know if you can see very well on there or not, but I usually stop it before the machine actually stops itself, because I'm watching for that juice to pull up. And once it gets up a little ways past there, I'm just going to go ahead and shut it off. Hit the seal button. There comes that juice. I don't know if you can see that. I can see a little red juice right there. So I went ahead and hit the seal button. And then I'm just going to back it back a little bit. About 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. And if I hit the vacuum again, I can tell whether that first seal was good or not, because you can see it pull again. See, there's nothing pulling there, so that first seal was good. Let's go ahead and hit the seal button. And we know our first seal is good, and we're getting that second safety seal on there. So that should be good to go. We're going to finish up the rest of them. So while those steaks are back in the fridge for several hours, because I'm actually going to be gone, go off and do some target shooting with my brother, and so I'm going to be, while those sit in the fridge, sorry about that, while those sit in the fridge, so they're just going to sit there, marinate, soak in all those flavors, and they'll be great when we're ready to throw them in here. Talk a little bit about what I got here for my system. I just bought this Cambro container on Amazon. I think this is a 5-gallon one. I use this for most of my, you know, just doing steaks or whatever, general use, but my sous vide, I got the Innova Pro, and this one will handle gallons and gallons of water. In fact, I use this on a 20-gallon Cambro when I'm doing something like briskets or you know, pork roast, and I want to do more than one. I mean, even a brisket isn't going to fit into here. So, but for briskets or pork roasts, I got a 20-gallon container like this, and I can stick this on here. I generally will help, you know, by preheating the water, so this isn't forcing this to do all that heating from, you know, whatever temperature your water comes out of the faucet all the way up to, you know, whatever, you know, the temperature you want to do your sous vide at, like, you know, 135 or whatever. So the Innova Pro is more of a commercial build, very high quality. The other thing nice about it is it has an app, and it's works off your Wi-Fi and cell connection. So I'm going to be off with my brother an hour away from here. On my way home, I'm going to start this up, heating up, like half an hour before I get home, so that when I get home at 4 o'clock, this thing will be 135 ready to roll, and I can throw my steaks in, let them go for 2 hours, and ready to sear them at 6 o'clock, and we're all good. So it's worth it to go ahead and get a good sous vide circulator if you're going to be doing this any amount of time. I used to use this at a place I worked, and I do 16 racks of ribs every Friday, and I tell you what, this little guy in that big, you know, 20-gallon Cambro would handle doing those racks of ribs overnight, a 24-hour sous vide cook. So get yourself good equipment where it counts, and then you can start out with something cheap for your container and build up to what you really want when you know what you really want. There we are, got the steaks all loaded in, and I was able to get the sous vide running from, well, it was like, I don't know, 40 minutes away, and I pulled over to the side of the road, and using the app on my phone, got the sous vide up and running. So it was all up to temp and ready to go when I got home. So now I'll leave these in here for 2 hours at about 135 degrees and pull them out and sear them and ready for supper. Okay, well, these steaks have been going for about 2 hours. I already got my mashed potatoes and peas and stuff already cooked. 2 hours at 135. Let's pull these guys out, see what we got. There we go. Lots of juice in there. You want to collect and save that juice. That's good stuff. Not a whole lot of juice, but yeah, some. We can throw that on our mashed potatoes. Let's get these babies open. I can tell these steaks are really, really, really tender. And with the sous vide, they're going to be perfectly medium rare. Never got over 135 degrees on the inside. So they're going to be perfect. We're going to get them all out, dry them off, and then we're going to sear them. I'll show you that. You don't have to watch me getting them all out. Be right back. Okay. Okay, before we do the searing, we want to make sure we get them all nice and dry. We don't want to boil the top, we want to sear the top. So we're just going to pat them dry, flip them over. The other side's been on a paper towel already, so that should be pretty good. And then we're going to get going with the searing. Be right back when we're ready to do that. Okay, now here's what we get to do. My favorite part, and my new toy here. This baby go in, and we're going to sear the tops of these guys. Take that baby up. I'll bring you in close and show you what's going on here. Okay, fire this baby up. Smell all those spices. Move it across the circle. Nice circles. That fat start moving. That fat start to render up a little bit. Crisp up. Nice rounding on the surface. Hear that sizzle and pop. And it's smelling good. I'm not burning my table too bad. I'm going to put this up on something. There, I lifted it up a little bit. Finishing babies off. Okay, well that's one side. I'm going to flip them over, finish them up, and you guys don't really need to see that. Okay, let's get just a little look at the finished product here. Doesn't that look good? Slice into this baby. Oh, it's like butter. Look at the inside. Nice, just nicely pink, juicy, tender, flavorful. Let's give this a try. Oh, it's got just a perfect amount of chew, but nice and buttery and tender and just juicy. This is really, really, really good. You guys need to try this.